Hello, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Blake Lugash, the CEO of Realty Capital Partners, and I'm here with my colleague John Mitchell. And today we want to talk to you about our latest investment opportunity, RCP Sherman Hotels, which is the ground up development of a dual brand 233 room Town Place Suites and Spring Hill Suites in Sherman, Texas. John and I are going to go through this presentation with you and provide you with some what we think are the compelling reasons why you should take a hard look at this deal. Like most of our deals, we focus on competitive advantages. And in this case, what we really like about this project is our sponsorship team, the development team in TechMac Development, and Tom Kirkland and Glenn Decker. I've known Tom for 13 plus years. I've done business with Tom, and we often say we have to do business with great people, and in this case, we definitely checked that box with Tom. There's other reasons why we like the deal, and of course, one of them is its location, Sherman, Texas. For those of you who live in the Dallas area, you may have heard Sherman on the news. It's continually getting these assignments for getting these deals for these multi-billion-dollar tech fabricators and manufacturing plants, and just a few of them are TI and with its with a $40 billion plant, I think, and so these tech factories bring lots of jobs. Sherman is just north of Dallas, about 60 minutes. So it can draft off the employment center and the education center and the transportation system of the DFW area, but you still get a quality of life being out in Sherman, just south of the Oklahoma border. Something else we like about the hotel is its affiliation with the Marriott family. And as many of you are travelers know, Marriott is the gold standard in the hotel world. And so a lot of people will do lots of things for their Bonvoy points. With this particular project, there's only one other Marriott branded hotel within 30 miles of our project. So we feel like we've definitely got that Marriott Bonvoy customer base trapped. We also like that it's has public-private partnership, that we're getting tax rebates from the city of Sherman. They're so excited for us to be there that we've negotiated 85% of the hotel sales tax to be reimbursed to our ownership entity for the next 5 years. That could be as much as $2 million. We also secured about $815,000 of what they call key money from Marriott. This is money that Marriott gives to us hotel. So these are both multi-million-dollar enhancements which help this project, which we probably would do even if we didn't get them. But again, it's just more icing on the cake. So John will talk a little bit more about the financial aspects of the deal and the market and the location. But I just wanted to touch a little bit on the dual brand concept and why this also is really a boost for this particular project. Many of you may have seen this when you travel. This is where you put two hotels under one roof. Usually they're the same family of hotels, two Hiltons, two Marriotts, two Hyatts, but they serve different clienteles. In this case, the Spring Hill Suites is more of a transient-oriented property that caters to travelers, both business and leisure, for 1, 2, maybe 3 nights. And then the Town Place Suites has more of a suite concept and is geared for the extended stay traveler, so 3, 4, 5 plus nights. By having both these hotels under one roof, which you probably have in the market anyways, we can have some significant savings in construction costs. But then we also have operational costs, which continue to benefit us and then ultimately future buyers who buy it from us. With a dual brand hotel, we have one general manager, we have one director of sales, one chief engineer, and we can offer one guest breakfast, which can be one of the more, it's what brings people to our hotel, but it also can be a significant cost. So anytime we can reduce the cost of the complimentary guest breakfast, that's a big deal to us. So I've said some of the competitive advantages why we like the deal. Let me turn it over to John, and he can talk to you about some of the more specifics of the project.
Yeah, thanks, Blake. So based on our discussions with the sponsor, we're looking at a 5-year hold for this kind of project. That looks like us closing the construction loan and funding our equity in December, um, which would lead to construction starting early next year. This will be construction will take 21 months, and which leaves us delivering the project in late 2027, on which time, to Blake's point, when we deliver the project, that's when we get the 815,000 of cost uh, cost refunds from Marriott. And so that shows up in distributable cash flow pretty much right when we deliver the project. Um, and then kind of we're estimating it to take about 3 years to stabilize the project, kind of solidify our position in the market and maximize revenue before we market and sell the property. Um, at that point, we're projecting returns to our investors of 18% IRR and a 2.1 multiple over that period. Um, so the specific location, I know Blake's talked about kind of from a macro point of view, what's going on in Sherman. Right along 75 where our site is located, we're actually located within a master plan community that already includes 100% occupied medical office, includes a dialysis center, an emergency room. Additionally, you've got quick service restaurants that occupy the I-75 frontage, like Chick-fil-A and Chipotle. And then there's additional parcels of land that are being looked at by sit-down restaurants, which would you provide an amenity, a walkable amenity to the people staying at the hotel. Um, I mean, that's going to be a big factor of this project. It's important for us to feel that the immediate area is conducive to a hotel development. And further within that development, we have an agreement with the master developer that there won't be any more hotel buildings. So back to to reiterate on Blake's earlier comment that there's been a lot of growth in Sherman. The population has grown 20% since the last census was taken in 2020. A lot of that's driven by big commitments from major employers like Texas Instruments, who's committed $40 billion, and Global Wafers, who's committed 7.5 billion. So what you're looking at right now is an operational facility that sits 2.5 miles south of our project. It's owned by Texas Instruments. They recently completed this project, and then have actually broken ground on phase 2 of a facility that looks very similar. Less than half a mile west of our project, you've got Global Wafers. Again, this is their phase 1. This is their phase 1 of several phases that they have planned. They've committed to 2 phases, but have land that allows them to build up to 6. This is an operational facility. You're looking at a rendering, but this sits as is, and they're actually currently sending out product to be tested by their eventual buyers. And then, again, just to reiterate the point that you've got, where we sit in Sherman is right next to kind of where all the big corporate campuses are located. You've got Tyson Foods, you've got Coherent, you've got Texas Instruments, Progress Rail, which gets us excited about where we're located, and as a competitive advantage as a competitive advantage to the only other Marriott, which sits 6 miles north. So I'll leave it to Blake to talk a little bit more about the developer.
Yeah, thanks, John. So as you can see, there's going to be there are a lot of jobs. There's going to be a lot of construction jobs. These are all drivers to the hotel, both what's in place are drivers, and there's going to be future. So it's good today and tomorrow. The development team, we talked a lot about a little bit about Tom and Glenn. They've built thousands of hotel rooms. They've built dozens of properties. We say this, shout out from the rooftops. We want to work with great developers who are masters in their asset classes. This is a situation where we really are dealing with the best of the best. Excited about this team for us to work with. We're very much excited about this deal. It's got a great location, great development team, great brand. And so, we hope that we've shared some of our enthusiasm about this with you. You should be able to go to our portal to get the full OM for this project, full offering memorandum, which will have these details and more. If you don't have that, or if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to any of us directly. If you do not know how to get a hold of us, any of us directly, our numbers are on the screen, but you can also always just call our main line at 469-533-4000 or our email at rcp@rcpinvestments.com. And we're happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you so much for your time.